why. So, thank you.
It's a great question. I think holistically, it goes along with my firm belief, and I believe the firm belief of most panel tonight, that I want to see, as Jim said, exactly what the plans are. I think we've had a lot of amendments to the master plan in this town. It almost feels sometimes the master plan is null and void, although it is a living document. I understand that. I want to, let me put it this way. If what is proposed will continue to lessen the tax burden on homeowners, as we've discussed, this is a consistent theme, then sitting on council, I will be for that. But if I feel, through testimony, through the facts, that it is simply not going to encourage the continued balancing of the tax base, that's going to be a problem in my eyes. Thank you.
I'll try to use all the 2 minutes. So when you drive on the dam road of the Grapevine Lake, you look around, you see the lake, you see the treetops. Looks nice and beautiful. Then you're going to turn around and straight look ahead. There's one tower there, right? Now imagine lots of towers. Now imagine you're in New Jersey looking across from Hudson River and you see skyscrapers. Now imagine you're on the other side and Grapevine is putting all these towers up there. And you're standing at a sunset point and looking at that. So that puts a picture in my mind that when you're going to sit inside, we don't see that. When you step out, you see all that, and you're going to think twice about that. When I was driving to us, I said, I don't think I like this. I think there's a solution where, just like the Morris Road, we need to get the citizens, the lakeside residents, a task force created that can come and sit with the town staff and discuss a good plan, and hopefully a good one.
I've been through Lakeside a number of times. I've been down and done yoga on the Sunset Plaza. It is absolutely imperative that we keep public access to the lake. That said, the plans that I have seen so far are all not complete. We need to see the complete plans. But more importantly, what I've learned from the Riverwalk is that we need a better idea of a timeline, a better idea of the financing, a better idea that it's going to get done, because it's really easy to make a very glossy proposal, and it appears to be a lot harder to build condo towers, apartment towers, whatever. But I want to see the plans, and I want to make sure that we have access to the land.
In principle, I'm in favor of this development. But I've heard numbers like $1.1 to $1.6 billion of ad valorem added to our tax base if this is developed in the way that they're talking about. That's really impressive. That's exciting. That represents a tenth of the town's total ad valorem value if it completed out that way. That being said, we need to take our time. There's a contingent out there right now that is really working hard to get this through very quickly. There's a lot of questions here. Mr. Tasker worked very hard on Lakeside when he was on council, and there were a lot of promises and parameters that were set about access to the lake, sight lines, public space, and those types of things. And we need to make sure that we honor that and we stick to it as we flesh out this plan to move forward. In principle, I'm for it, but we need to make sure we do it the right way to honor those plans that were laid so well before us.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to switch topics now. We're going to now talk about, I have 3 more major categories to hit, so I'm going to give you some shortened time frames so we can make sure we get all of these taken care of. The next topic is going to be budgetary issues. As a council member, you'll be asked to prioritize capital improvements. What items in the town's current CIP would you prioritize? What would you move down the list? What would you add to the CIP that's not already there? I'll give you a minute.
I've made it clear early on that I think infrastructure is a problem in this this town. I think we can all agree we've got pipes that we need to fix. We've got roads, frankly, that really do need to be repaired. Let's take Ward 6 for an example, okay? I want Morris to become the best possible 4-lane it can be. I was publicly opposed to becoming a 6-lane road. Some members at the table tonight are hardly supporting its expansion to a 6-lane road. I don't think we need that. But we can agree that we have repairs and improvements to be made on, in that regard. I think our water utilities are getting expensive. So I think that innovation from just a water purchase standpoint is important. I think that's another issue where we can see better water and more innovative water solutions, if you will. Thank you.
So the infrastructure, streets, road maintenance, street lights, I think that's very important. We used to be a town that did not like that. That was understandable, but we kind of have grown to the point where they are more important now for safety. I think it's time to talk about parks. We are very proud of parks and trails. And we've done a great job of improving the existing parks. But we have not really, in the last few years, added more pocket parks. We have spent money on heritage. Of course, that's good. But there's pocket parks spread across the town. We have not. And I think we're going to spend some money to kind of build some more parks, have some more trails, which we're doing a good job of. And also the Morris talked about. So Morris, I don't want it to be expanded, but I do want it to be kind of improved. There are points, intersections, turn lanes that need to be improved, school zones where the pickup lanes can be improved. That will go a long way.
Kirkpatrick Lane was proposed a number of years ago to be expanded, 2 bridges built. Town has that very low on the priority list right now because they don't think it will help our traffic. But we need something to help our group traffic. I don't know what the best idea is on that yet. My big one, though, I think, is the parks and trails that we have. We've got 60 miles of trails in Flower Mound today, but we have 2499, 1171 that are very difficult to get over. I propose one of the things that I will be pushing for is a connection of the Flower Mound trails with Flower Mound trails, as well as connecting to Louisville, Highland Village, and whoever's out west. I'm drawing a blank. Thank you.
I think one of the key things that we need to look at is mobility and transportation. We need to solve, to Mr. Riccardi's point, we have a great trail system and sidewalk system. We have broken connectors. We have broken sections where people can't fully use those to their best extent. So I want to look at that. The other one is mobility, transportation. We've talked about improving and expanding capacity of Lakeside Parkway to get people out to 121. Staff is currently looking at that. We've run into a budgeting snafu. We're continuing to look at other options there. That's really where we need to concentrate our efforts right now, mobility and transportation.
First thing we need to do to make sure is town's infrastructure. Because when you turn on the faucet, you want water to come out. When you flush a commode, you want it to go down. We've got to make sure that those are fixed, those are ready to go, and those are maintained in the town. Secondly, I think the Parks and Trail system, another great deal. We've got actually 70 miles of trails in town. But they're interconnected. They don't all connect at all. It's hopscotch all over town. That's the number one item a couple of years ago when we did a Parks Master Plan, and the number one item for residents on the top of the list was a trail system that connected. And we need to do that. Then we also need to do mobility, traffic. That is a key item. Everybody drives in this town. It's a quality of life issue. Thank you.
All right, Joe, this next question is a 30-second question. The next two are, traditionally the town has made contributions to nonprofit organizations annually. Some see this as forced charity, some see this as misappropriation of tax funds, and some see this as a kind gesture to eliminate obligations the town may otherwise have. How do you feel about the town making contributions to nonprofit organizations?
So the perfect organization to collaborate with through the Chamber of Commerce. Talk about economic development. We have a staff, a small staff. And the perfect thing would be to work with the chamber to attract the right kind of businesses to the town. That helps both the town and the residents and the chamber. So I'm really up for working with the Chamber of Commerce.
It's really a tough one. A large part of me says we are really doing good. There are an awful lot of very small organizations here in town that, without the contribution, are going to have a very hard trouble meeting their budget. And they do good work for us. So I think I'm in favor of keeping them.
I don't think this is a hard topic at all. I don't think it's appropriate for people sitting up on a dais who think they're smarter than you are to decide where your tax dollars should go. That being said, there are services provided by some of these organizations that provide direct benefit to some of our departments. I've advocated that those monies be put into those departments so that those department heads can oversee those funds and make sure that they're getting the most out of it. But the others should be supported by your volunteer dollars or your donations as you see fit, not somebody coming and collecting them because they think they're smarter than you are.
Those nonprofit organizations provide services to the town. In some cases, they are services that we do not provide nearly as efficiently as our donation to them. In that particular case, I believe that, actually, it's Mr. McDaniel, those should be, the benefits in those that department receives should fund that individual organization. It should be part of their annual budget. But it's only when the town receives a better bang for our buck, if you will, than what the dollars cost us. Thank you.
I think it's absolutely right. Can you hear me back there? No? Oh, you turned off on me. And sabotage. Thanks, Jim. Maybe I'll let you run this down. You know, look, I think, personal experience, Valley Creek Church, so many of us here go to great churches, right? And our churches do some amazing things, not just churches, not just religious institutions, okay? So don't get too sensitive on this one, but they do great things. Valley Creek Church was used as a staging ground after the hurricane in South Texas. Multiple trucks were sent down, some of your churches were as well. Well, look, again, that's a state issue, and I understand that. But I think we're short-sighted to think that we cannot partner with religious and non-religious institutions to provide those services the city does not currently provide because they typically do it more efficiently than government. Thank you.
Thank you. Flower Mound property values have grown greatly over the past few years. We all love that when we sell our house, but we don't like that when we pay our taxes. Are you willing to reduce the tax rate to the effective tax rate to prevent what some people would consider a backdoor tax increase annually?
Flower Mound budget is actually a great job. Our town staff does fantastic with it. But if you look at some of the things they have done, we have bought the cabin. The cabin was one of these things that we had to act, and we had to act immediately to prevent it from being torn down. If you look at the property between the library and the high school, the town bought that. I think we keep the tax rate where it is so that when these important things come up, we're ready.
I think that I'm the only person sitting up here or currently on council who has advocated for a reduction in the budget when it comes to charitable contributions in your behalf. I've advocated for that. It's not a huge amount of money, it's about $300,000, but it's 0.5% of our total budget. We do need to reduce our tax rate. Whether the effective tax rate is the right number or not, I'm willing and able to work to get to that number, and I think that we do need to do that right now, well, as long as we can fulfill our obligations to our first responders and to our staff.
Over the last 4 years, our property value, the ad valorem base for the town has grown at almost 42%. Huge increase over the last 4 years. Last year it was up almost 12%. Can we go down to an effective rate? I think we can, and I will be in favor of reducing the tax rate. Thank you.
It's a great topic. Yeah, good job. I should have known. Other way around. So, you know, look, let's reduce this a little bit. I think one way that we can actually increase the tax base in this town is by increasing the permitting of projects in people's homes. It takes a long time to get a permit through in the city. Am I wrong? It takes a while. Who's trying to get a project through? Let's engage. It takes a long time. If you can get the permit, I'm not saying put up shanty towns, okay, let's be safe about it, but it takes way too long, and Fleming has a real reputation. Build it, get higher assessed value, it's easy money, and win-win, right? Thanks.
Just for the numbers' sake, the property tax rate right now is 0.439, and the effective tax rate is 0.415 for $100. Our tax rates are one of the lower ones in the North Texas area. Having said that, if we are able to increase the sales tax revenue base, which I think we can very effectively do that, then yes, I am really up for reducing taxes to the effective rate.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to do some quick questions. Again, 30 seconds, because I'd like to cover some of these issues. These are unusual questions, but I think one of the things that's important for our leaders when we pick them is you can't always anticipate the topics they may address. So you have to address their philosophy and how they see government and how they see town council. So these questions are designed to expose someone's philosophical position as they sit on council. First question, what is more important in local government? Predictability or flexibility?